Happy equinox! So what's going on for you guys? Let me just tell you a little bit about the 29th degree of Pisces sun here today. Well, my daughter, the one who is a Pisces as well, and who never went to school, she, funny enough, by the way, people who are worried about government regulations and things like that, my daughter never went to any school and then just walked into a public school without even having a birth certificate or any identification and started school there, by the way. Nothing's ever been said about it to anyone, and she's been in school in 2 different schools now for 2 years. So anyone who's curious about how that works, I think a lot of people just don't really try anything because they're worried. So I kept my daughter home until she was 14, and then she decided she wanted to go to school and went there and enrolled herself with no ID. Go ahead, phone around and ask how that works, okay? Because it doesn't, but it did. Anyway, Trip, I didn't really want to go there, but that's okay. You guys can look into that. I think that's helpful information for a lot of parents out there who might not think of these things. A lot of moms and dads. So anyway, at my daughter's school that she goes to now this morning, this happened. A student snapped and stabbed the vice principal and another staff member today. So that just happened. They did a lockdown on the school, and after a few hours, they finally let all the children out, all the teenagers out to go with their parents. As far as I know, nobody has passed away from that. I think since she sent the pictures of the ambulance, of people getting in the ambulance, and no one was speeding away really fast, I think it's just stab wounds that weren't fatal. But, I mean, the whole thing is pretty traumatic. The whole school of children as well knew what was happening the whole time. And they all immediately started sending the screenshots of the kid who did it as soon as they knew. So the whole school was abuzz. Everyone knew what was happening. Anyways, intense last degree of Pisces out there. The moon's still in Pisces right now, but by Tuesday that will be the new moon in Aries. So when the moon joins the sun in Aries, that's Tuesday. And I happen to know, because I started to talk to some United States people some more again, I happen to have heard that Trump was saying he might go to jail on Tuesday, which is the new moon in Aries. So I don't know if that's going to cause some sort of big riot or something, maybe some sort of Aries action happening on Tuesday. But it looks like it at this point. Also, I saw something else in the news that made me think Jupiter Aries, mega prisons. Those mega prisons in El Salvador where they just caught like 10,000, they say, gang members. What did those guys do? I'm wondering, was that their resistance? And I finally opened the German Stargazers book, and I've been flipping through that. So I'm just going to add some pages of it here for you guys if you're interested. I'm adding pages in the Discord too. And you can join the Discord if you want. I add current weather in there, and you can ask me stuff if you want about astrology or whatever. Or I can help you with your chart. So this is just some stuff about Aries in that book. The cats. The cat and the puppy are destroying everything right now in the background, actually. Hi, what are you doing? You wrecking the place? Alrighty then. So yeah, maybe pause these if you want to read a little bit about what that book says. It's kind of an interesting look at adding in the stars, adding in some fixed stars as well. And you can use that for whatever you want, of course. That's just in a notation form, the book. And so I think that's why it's like that. We're supposed to use it, play around with it, and see what we notice, see where we notice the patterns happening. So Pisces moon is still now, and Pisces moon is one of the most sensitive, emotional signs. When you start talking about how certain signs are more emotional than other signs, I always notice that the people that are not those signs get offended, sort of. They have to defend that they're emotional too. But I really don't think you guys get it. I think you really, really need to meet a whole bunch of really watery Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio to understand the depth of living your life 24/7 in this watery pool of emotion. I completely understand that people are emotional creatures. We're all emotional creatures. What even are emotions? What are feelings? What are emotions? Are they different? Is one inner and one outer? But the people who live in that realm so deeply down there, the Pisces especially, the Scorpio, the Cancer too, but especially the Pisces, the people who are immersed in the ocean all day, every day. Even walking by somebody who is extremely sad will affect the Pisces. They could take a few days even just to get over that, just to get over seeing somebody in an emotional, distraught state. And really being one of these double water emotional basket case people myself, it's true though. I don't care. It's true. Being one, I know that the sooner you realize that, as a small child, we deserve to know that we're different than everyone else. Let your children explore astrology and don't start telling people it's a pseudoscience when you don't know it. Because that's like me telling people Chinese is not a real language because I don't know it.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
And sits like this when she wants a hug.